Alright guys, so let's open up the box of the TID, and here we go. So it's a nice little package. This is the second TID radio that I have kindly received, and this one is the TDH3. So far I'm impressed. It's a nice little unit. It's a little more compact than the last one. And the last one, the gain wasn't that great on the antenna. And what we're going to compare it to is we're going to compare it to the Baofeng UV9R-Plus. So first thing we need to do is get it all on the same frequency, which is 144.748. Check, check, check.
Check, check, check. This is Victor Alpha 7, Bravo India X-ray. This is Victor Alpha 7, Bravo India X-ray.
The first test we will do is we'll just do a simple how does this receive. So what I'm going to do here is put the microphone over on the speaker of the TID radio while I transmit on the Baofeng, and then vice versa.
This is Victor Alpha 7, Bravo India X-ray. This is Victor Alpha 7, Bravo India X-ray. Victor Alpha 7, Bravo India X-ray. Check, check, check. Check, check, check. There's a little bit of not sibilance, but the microphone, but I can hear it pretty well. And when I turn it up a little loud, it does distort, but generally not too bad. And let's see how the Baofeng compares to the TID. This is Victor Alpha 7, Bravo India X-ray. Victor Alpha 7, Bravo India X-ray. This is Victor Alpha 7, Bravo India X-ray. We are now transmitting on the TID radio, and we're being received on the UV9R-Plus. This is Victor Alpha 7, Bravo India X-ray. Victor Alpha 7, Bravo India X-ray. Victor Alpha 7, Bravo India X-ray. We are coming to you on the Baofeng UV9R-Plus, the Uniform Victor 9 Romeo Plus Baofeng. This radio I've had since before COVID, so it's probably about 5 years old, and I'm running it through the 705, the ICOM 705, with the output coming out into the mixing board, which is the Zoom R24 mixing board, which in turn is going on board to my computer, which is then recording into Audacity. This is Victor Alpha 7, Bravo India X-ray. We are now on the TID radio, the Tango Delta Hotel 3, TDH3 TID radio. And one thing I'm noticing here, but I'm going to transmit for a little while, that it does feel a little hot on the contact at the back of the hand, which would indicate to me possibly that the antenna is not necessarily resonant for 2 meters, and it's definitely hot on the back of the hand, which is a negative right there. That is, that's actually uncomfortable. So the bottom end of 2 meters, it's hot to touch on the back of the radio, and I'm not sure if that's just me or if that's general flaw or fault with the default antenna that's coming out of the TID radio. Right here at the base of near my knuckles, on my palm, where my fifth or pinky finger is, I can feel a hot contact on my skin, and it's almost uncomfortable. It's not burning, but it's definitely there. So the SWR, or that would tell me that the resonance of this antenna is not ideal for 2 meters in this portion of the band. It might be something else, but I would say that that's it. All right, this is Victor Alpha 7, Bravo India X-ray. This completes the audio test between the Baofeng UV9R-Plus and the TID Radio H3.
It's a lovely little feeling radio, but this, okay, so there's the front of the radio. This little contact here, this one here on the bottom left as you're looking at the back, that was getting really hot on my skin right there from holding it like that on 2 meters. And just to show you what frequency I was on, we're right at the bottom of the ham band, okay? it might be something as simple as the SWR is not ideal, but the radio generally does feel a little warm, and I don't know if that's I don't know if I'd like to be honest, deal with that. So maybe what the first thing I would do, because the price point is awesome, and I mean it feels good, it's a nice little radio, but what I would want to do is change this out for a resonant antenna, because that would get a little annoying after a while if you're having a rag chew on 2 meters. So there you go, guys. So that's the first little flaw, if you will, that I've noticed with the TID radio. Alrighty. Woo! Alright, so here comes the challenging part, guys. So I've just been out to the garage to get some little parts, and I'm going to bring up the other screen here for you to see. So here's what we've done. I've worked out a way that I can keep the transmit on for up to 30 seconds. I don't have the time of the day here to adjust how long you've got until it times out. But I've got myself a big clamp, and I've got a dummy load going into the TID radio, as you can see. And we're going to put that big clamp on there, and we're going to play trumpet. I'm going to probably just do the same lick that I did for Coffee and Ham Radios. So g'day, guys, Coffee and Ham Radios. You guys are awesome. If you ever need any more trumpet licks, let me know. And this one here, I'm going to have to use some big honkin' vise like this, because it's a bit wider. But we'll get this done. This is going to be fun. There we go. Now we're in transmit for there. All right, so we'll turn that off. Okay, we are recording. 1, 2. All right, I've got to mute this, guys. So I'm going to play some trumpet into the Baofeng. All right, there we go, guys. We've got a good strong recording from the Baofeng. Now we're going to change over to the TID radio, and we'll do the same thing. I'm just going to wind the dummy load in. I saw a good strong signal on Audacity, so we're good to go. And here we go. Just got to make sure that got to mute this. All right, here we go. Okay, we just got timed out. We'll get enough footage from that. So there we go, guys. Woo! What a test. Alrighty, guys. So now we've got some data, which is awesome. We're going to do a quick analytical or objective comparison of the Baofeng UV9R-Plus and the Tidradio H3. So I'm just going to grab a little bit of audio, and you be the judge. And one thing I do notice straight off the bat, you can see that this was the first radio, which was the Baofeng UV9R-Plus, and then this is the Tidradio H3. So the output gain is a little hotter on the Baofeng, and I don't know if that's something maybe to do with the power, but literally I'm only 3 to 4 feet away from the 705, so that just might be the internals of the actual radio. So let's just have a quick, we'll grab a quick little snippet from both radios, and we'll just do a quick comparison here. So this is the Baofeng UV9R-Plus.
This is Victor Alpha 7, Bravo India X-Ray. Victor Alpha 7, Bravo India X-Ray. Victor Alpha 7, Bravo India X-Ray. We are coming to you on the Baofeng UV9R-Plus, the Uniform Victor 9 Romeo Plus Baofeng. This radio I've had since before COVID, so it's probably about 5 years old. And I'm running it through the 705, the ICOM 705, with the output coming out into the mixing board, which is the Zoom R24 mixing board, which in turn is going on board to my computer, which is then recording into Audacity.
All right, so there we go. So now let's bring up the TID, and we'll compare it.
This is Victor Alpha 7, Bravo India X-Ray. We are now on the TID radio, the Tango Delta hotel.
There's a little bit of an AC hum that I hear in both of them, but that could also be some internal wiring here in the house.
Transmit for a little while. That it does feel a little hot on the contact at the back of the hand, which would indicate to me possibly that
a little clearer with audio. It's a little tinnier. It's a little clearer, and it's got a little more highs, which I like. It doesn't have that tubby, round, lots of mid sound like the Baofeng.
2 meters, it's hot to touch on the back of the radio, and I'm not sure if that's
So listen through the AC hum, guys. I have a feeling that's something to do with just the fact that the 705 is so close. This is just an apples to oranges or apples to apples test here.
Coming out of the Baofeng UV9R-Plus, but I can feel it here.
Definitely warm in the back of the hand.
And my hands are a little sweaty because it's a little. I think I was just timed out. This is a Victor Alpha 7 Bravo India X-ray. Oh yes, definitely. So if I'm looking at the front of the radio, the bottom right little metal contact on the back is definitely hot to touch. And
all right, there we go, guys. You get the idea.
The sine wave or the audio file on
the Baofeng sounds a little tubbier, which means in music we call tubbier means too many mids. When you're receiving lots of mids, it will tend to distort. So if you're receiving a signal from, say, a radio like this, and you're a long way away, and you turn the volume up and you're outside, because of all the mids, it doesn't have that cut. And what you'll find is the speaker will frap out, it'll distort before you can actually hear what's going on. So I like that about the Tidradio. It's a little tinnier sound, but I think in a pinch in outdoors, you'll hear the Tidradio clearer than you will with the Baofeng. But all right, now let's get on to the trumpet. So here's the Baofeng. Here we go. So that's the trumpet coming out of the Baofeng. Okay. All right, so now let's go to the Tidradio. Here we go. Much tinnier, but it's got that bite. So for a little radio, this has got it pegged. Woo! So there you go, guys. So there's the little Tidradio. What a beauty. Looks good beside the trumpet, doesn't it? So there we go, the little Tidradio. I just don't think that the antenna that it comes with cuts it. So you'd probably want to look at something like that. You might want to change it. So it's probably better on 70 centimeters, but the fact that it gets hot is really the only criticism. The audio is pretty tinny, but you'd expect that. It's got the highs where they should be. It's backed off the mid, so it doesn't have that tubby round sound that ends up distorting and sounding like mud. And for a good little radio, you know what, for $30 you can't go wrong, or whatever the price point is on it. So there you go, guys. I hope this was something a little interesting about the Tidradio and doing a little comparison. And it's certainly been a lot of fun. I was trying to think outside the box, because ham radio and jazz music are my two passions in life, and it's a lot of fun. So everybody, thank you so much for watching, and I really appreciate it. I do have more radios to review, and I want to thank everybody that's sending them to me. And if you don't mind the direction that I go down to do the reviews, then bring it on. Thanks, everybody. You're awesome. This has been an absolute blast. So thanks for watching. I've got to race and pick up the family now. 7-3, everybody. And please hit like and subscribe. You're awesome, and we'll see you on the air. Woohoo!